Hi, welcome to my house, and as you hopefully know, I am Jonas, and this is my presentation. Okay, so you're probably wondering what my topic is. Actually, I highly doubt you're wondering what my topic is right now. You're probably thinking of, like, Fortnite or something. I really don't know, but whatever. So, I obviously have a lot of coins, and I want to know how to identify large cents. I know, so exciting, right? Yeah. You may be wondering, though, what a large cent is in the first place. The large cent was a coin issued by the U.S. government starting in 1793 and until 1857. Liberty was on the front. Oh, you want to ask back? I'll go, yes, see, yes, I'm going, They were made of copper, worth 1 cent, and varying sizes. Hey, now they just appeared in front of me. It's weird. Why does this always happen whenever I'm trying to film a video? Oh well. Large cents are bigger than today's quarters, as you can see, hopefully. Nope. Annoyances. Quarters. Bigger than today's quarters. Some are even bigger, or not bigger, but the size. Yes, that was the greatest joke ever. Some are even the size of today's, annoyances. The size of today's, nope, what am I doing? Size of today's half dollars, right here, half dollar. I have a bunch of these coins, but I don't really know how to identify them. So there's basically like 50 different versions of the large cent grouped into like 10 different categories. It's really confusing. So what is the process to figure out what type of large cent you have? Luckily, I have a patented 3-step flowchart. Yay! I know, you're so excited. Now how to buy your large cent. Step 1. Identify and look at the front, back, and edge of the coin. Make sure it does not say copy or replica anywhere, or it is fake. It is not a real coin if it says copy or replica on it. Step 2. Figure out what version of Liberty you have on your coin. There are many different versions of her, and you'll be able to figure out what version of Liberty you have with using some of the tips that Jonas is about to give you. Yes, I will give you them in like 20 seconds if you're patient. If you're not patient, it's going to take about 5 hours. So, yeah. It's basically a how-to inside of a how-to. And step 2. After figuring out what version of Liberty you have, using my comprehensive tips that I found out through research, compare your coin to other photos on the internet to check your answer. So, if you think you have a classic head large cent, you want to search up other classic head large cents on like Google to see if your cent is actually a classic head large cent. Yes, that is a tongue twister. Said I'd give some tips on how to figure out what version of Liberty you have. So here they are in this different large cents presentation. So the first version of Liberty is the flowing here, and they were made only in 1793. Everybody tried to say 1793. It always comes out as like 1993. But they were made only in 1793. They usually look as if Liberty has hair being blown away by the wind. There is either a wreath or a chain on the back, and they have either 100 or vine and bars on the edge. An interesting flowing hair large cent is a strawberry leaf variety, which I have no idea why they decided to put that there. The strawberry leaf on the coin. Just looks kind of weird if you ask me. So now if you have a Liberty Cap large cent, the face might look a bit like a man. In fact, one of the faces looks like Thomas Jefferson. There will also be a cap, as you can see here, and here, trailing behind Liberty, which is the shape of a triangle. There is a wreath on the back of the coin, and the edge of the coin is usually wreathed. Next up is a draped bust large cent. Liberty will have curled hair, like as you can see at the bottom of the hair, it's all curled in here. And also it looks like a flower sticking out of her hair. As you can see here, it's not a flower, but it looks like a flower. There is, once again, a wreath on the back. There will be many different versions of the wreath throughout the rest of the large cents. One interesting coin of the series is the 1/000 mistake, which it's supposed to be 1/100, but that's a mistake. Now, on the classic head large cents, Liberty will have a big neck, as you can see, pretty big neck, with kind of fat cheeks. So you can see here and here. One thing I'd like to point out about these cents is how many different versions of the dates there are. And by that I mean, for example, there might be 3 different versions of the 4 on the 1814 coin. So this 4 might have 3 different versions. Here, and another version. Now, the next coins are all part of this series, the Liberty Head series. Now, all these coins are Liberty Heads, but this series is just specifically the Liberty Head series. Nothing all too special. But it's broken up into 3 different categories, 3 different heads. Head number 1 is a matron head. So you can tell that a coin is a matron head large cent if Liberty looks both mature. As you can see, she looks like an adult, but yeah, she looks like an adult, and her hair braided up into her curl using basically a fancy hair tie. So she looks both mature and her hair is curled up using a fancy hair tie, which is, by that I mean just this right here. She is a matron head large cent. And now on matron head cents in bad condition, it might even look like Liberty is about to vomit. In fact, there should be one of these being passed around if only virtual me, not virtual me, would wake up. Sorry. Some things are just tongue twisters, especially not virtual me. Oh well. But there should be one of these being passed around if only not virtual me would wake up. So number 6 is the matron head modified or young head large cent. So the young head large cent will look, as a name suggests, young. Yes, she looks very young. They're only made for few years, and the curls on the back of the head will also look pretty messy. And then the last large cent is the braided hair. So now the braided hair large cent, which is the last year's large cent, looks very similar to the young head large cent. Face of Liberty will look a bit older though, maybe the age of a college student. The hair will look much more organized too. One of these should be being passed around now. So those are some tips on identifying the Liberty on your large cent, or figuring out what version of Liberty you have. So yeah, we are back from that obviously amazing slideshow, and let's do a quick recap. Make sure your coin doesn't say copy or replica on it. Use the tips that I gave you to figure out what version of Liberty you have. Now, she must get a lot of plastic surgery, because it seems like her face changes like every year. Then, compare your coin to other photos on the internet to check your answer. That is it. I hope you enjoyed. I doubt you're ever actually going to use any of the skills that you hopefully learned today, unless you're a coin collector. But this is where I disappear.